How's everybody doing? It's been a while. I want to start off with if there's any brands or businesses that need promotion, um, any brand of businesses, big or small, if you need promotion, reach out to me. I can promote you on my podcast. If you need jingle writing, if you need a song or anything for me to write or record, I got you. You know what I mean? That's what I do. I just want to start off with that. Today's episode of God Concept. Oh, I'm Mr. Pagan. This is God Concept Podcast. Um, Today's episode is basically an update on me filing federal tort claims papers against whatever entities were involved with the entrapment, the exploitation, and the conspiracy against me. For what reasons? I believe there's many. I believe my case is multifaceted. I believe that there are a lot of parties involved, including my own family. A lot of people from my own family was involved with this. But yeah, I got a letter right here that say that from the Department of Justice that basically says that they forwarded my letter to the appropriate departments. I filed everything on my own. It really took a lot of due diligence on my part to try to make sure that I fill out everything properly and get the case presented in the right way. Um, you know, Going through this is not the easiest thing. It is not an easy thing. Going through all of this is a very tedious and difficult thing to go through because you know who your accusers are. You know who committed crimes against you, but you have to prove. You know what I mean? You have to prove everything that you're going through. You have to prove that you did nothing wrong. In fact, when somebody's entrapping you, and when somebody's entrapping you, more than likely you don't know that you're being entrapped. You don't know that the entrapment is happening, right? Entrapment is a multifaceted thing. It could come from anywhere, from anybody, at any time. A lot of people get caught up on a lot of different charges because they were actually entrapped by somebody. Somebody actually set out to entrap you. Somebody actually, or they one term is called gang stalking, where they actually conspire to either exploit you or entrap you in ways that are illegal to the systems that they're working for, but it has to be done. According to them, they want it to be done. They want to find out information about you, um, whether whether you have property that they want to seize, um, different reasons they figure out ways of entrapping you. The exploitation happens when they actually set out to make the entrapment look legal. You know what I mean? It's like it's a it's it, they use illegal tactics in the law, right, for their own purposes or agendas, right? Where if we do it, it would be like it would be illegal, point blank. But what they do is they have I forgot the term I used to use on my podcast, but it's been a while for me doing a podcast or anything because I've been reaching out to lawyers and things like that. But it's like a illegal legal system. It's weird. It's something weird that they do. They have lawyers that basically try to protect them from coming under federal tort claim actions and things like that. They have lawyers that try to protect them and let them know because basically you're suing the government, a branch of the government. You're not suing the entire government. I have nothing against the government. Never did. Do I believe that the government oversteps its boundaries a bit and how it deals with its citizens? Yeah, I do. A bit. You know what I mean? But government is needed for people who who need the government. You know what I mean? Some people have to have laws and stuff like that because they don't know how to conduct themselves around other people. Some people need help or aid when somebody set them up or somebody conspires against them and things like that. That's when the government come into play. See, I reached out to a branch of the government to help me with my case because I don't believe that they were involved with doing this to me. The Department of Justice is not the ones that conspired against me, aren't the ones that entrapped me or exploited me, right? This was the mafia with family and another branch of the government. I don't know whether that be CIA or FBI. You know what I mean? Who do you go at? You can't go after the CIA, so you have to go after the FBI. I believe that you know everybody watches each other's back. It's not like one part of the one branch of the government is not going to take up for another branch of the government. Yeah, they have this fictitious thing where they say the FBI and the CIA are against each other in ways because I guess one case for the FBI might screw up something that the CIA is doing because they get a little deeper into the workings of a crime happening, right? So the FBI might be investigating something on the surface level, and the CIA is investigating something on a deeper level. So when the FBI interferes with an investigation or start investigating something that may interfere with an investigation that the CIA is running, then basically the CIA got to tell the FBI to back off, and the CIA kind of has more pull, basically, than the FBI. It's a more deep cover, covert branch of investigators who do their job there. But that's neither here nor there. I've been doing my research on this. It's really a lot to unpack, but they go about doing these stuff for different reasons. They want to make sure their country is safe. You know what I mean? They want to make sure nobody's out here terrorists or committing any crimes and stuff like that. But they use an organization and people that are in the streets who commit crimes and who entrap people and steal property from people. Like in my instance, they'll use your family against you too. They find out ways of doing all this type of stuff. So it's not an easy thing for me to come on my podcast and discuss exactly what's going on. It's not an easy thing to really convey all the information that I have based upon my own investigation that I've been running. I'm just hoping that, you know, everything goes accordingly for me because it's taken a long ass time. I've been placed in a lot of different situations where that I shouldn't be placed in, basically. A lot of situations like me being homeless, me having to really rely on others and things like that. I'm not used to being in a situation like this. You know what I mean? Me reaching out to what is this? Um, when you unemployment. Yeah, I reached out to unemployment, and because of me running my own investigation and everything, I don't know if this coincides with what I'm going through or not. Whether they put the fix in, and basically this branch, the unemployment branch, is working with whatever branch that I'm going against to put in paperwork or file something against me. But basically, they said that I couldn't receive unemployment benefits or anything. Not that I filed late or anything. It's because they say that I had not enough income in my base year, and they break up the years quarterly, right? So you got the first quarter, the second quarter. They said that I made money in the first quarter of 2023, which I don't even remember working in 2023. And they said basically that I didn't make, like I made too much, or the numbers wasn't. It's not like, okay, well, unemployment is not like I made too much or too little. It's basically that I made something in those quarters, right? Or I made nothing in those quarters. But that's what it was. It was that I made nothing in certain quarters of 2023. Well, I wouldn't need unemployment if I was making money in those quarters of the year, right? And then they claim a base year. A base year is not the current year we in. The base year starts back whenever you know what I mean. I guess the base year is basically your base amount, your base income, or whatever you made or whatever. You know, if they look at the base year or something like that, far as what you made and what they're looking at the current year, if it don't match up, either way, somehow, some way, they get to deny you unemployment after you've been working for a company for 11, 12, 13, 14 years or whatever. This is what they do. You know, it's I believe, me personally, that is further entrapment. It's them furthering you not being able to get ahead. Because what they want to do is paint a picture of you. What they want to do is put you in a position that makes them look right. You know what I mean? That they put you in a position to see how you respond. And if you respond in a negative way, right? Negative meaning going out doing some dumb shit, um, you know, turning to the life of crime and things like that, then they easily got you. Then it's easy for them to, they call it nudging. It's a term called nudging that the FBI uses when they try to guide your life in a way by not guiding your life, but also putting you in positions where you would do certain things. And them already knowing your character, knowing who you are, knowing what you do on a daily basis, knowing your ins and outs, because they do a full investigation. In fact, they might not have to do an investigation at all because they know who you are. They follow your social medias. They intercept your calls. They intercept all your messages, even the DMs you think you sending, your sneaky links on Instagram and Twitter and all these places. They follow all that shit. So you're really not ever doing anything sneaky. That's why I don't understand why I was targeted. That's why I don't understand why I was targeted, because I don't do nothing illegal. I never been a illegal type of dude. I always worked. All my life I've been working. You know what I mean? And for them to do this, I could only think of a few reasons why they would do something like this, to be honest with you. I known for a long time that these people were involved with my family, directly involved with my family. Um, I'm talking about the mafia people, right? I've known for a long time that they were directly involved with my family, but I didn't know it was like that deep. I didn't know who they were until it was apparent to me. Like, I didn't know these were mafia people. That was, you know, I have no idea. I have no idea the entanglement with my family. These guys, whatever legal office, departments out there, FBI, CIA, or whatever. But I digress because it's a lot. And it's hard to really go through all of this shit, right? It's hard to really go through all this shit when you try to reach out to some people, or don't even have to reach out to some people. You just basically try to tell people that you're around, right? What's going on with you, and what's everything adding up. And they don't believe you. They don't believe you. They can't understand it for whatever reason. For whatever reason, they're made not to believe. Like, I've never been a scammer. This is not, for me, this is not a get rich quick scheme. For me, this is not a gimmick. This is not a hoax. This is really me dealing with the bullshit I've been placed in, dealing with the entrapment situation that I've been placed in, dealing with the conspiracies and the lies and the rhetoric that all of this shit that I'm facing. You know what I mean? Dealing with the exploitation, because this is what they do. This is what they did. They exploited the shit out of me. They exploited me in many different ways. They made me believe that they were all different types of branches of the government and secret organizations. You know, mafia, FBI, CIA, Masons, Eastern Stars. They made people believe that all of these, different organizations and entities and departments and you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. I've been through the ringer and I'm still going through it, trying to figure all this stuff out. You know, I just want it all to come ahead. I want it all to come to head because I just want to get back to my life as normal. You know what I mean? Like I said, they wouldn't even let me get my unemployment, nothing. Every time I try to call my former employee, my former employer, SEPTA, about withdrawing my pension, um, I get an email with the form that I got to fill out. But the form that I got to fill out is not for the job that I had. The form that they want me to fill out is one of a train conductor, like I was working on a regional rail or something. I wasn't working on a regional rail, so some of the information on this form I won't be able to fill out at all because I wasn't on regional rail. I was a regular bus operator who's just trying to fill out for his pension and get his pension, right? So that way, at least I can have enough money to relocate me and my family to a new place. This way I could start a new life doing something new and trying to gain a state of normalcy again in my life. You know, all of this has been a very, very bittersweet process. And I say that because, you know, I was thinking about getting my entrepreneurship off the ground. I was thinking about really starting to do my music, starting to do books, start my podcast and things like that. You can ask anybody who know me. This is what I've always been trying to do since I was a younger gentleman. And, I would get so intertwined with work and doing my duties at work and doing this and doing that I really had no time to really focus on the things that I wanted to do with my life. But in the midst of all this, I found the time, I found the energy to really start tackling the things that I wanted to do. You know what I mean? Far as writing, far as doing music, far as doing the podcast and things of this nature. Because I love to talk. You know what I mean? I ain't no snitch, but I love to talk. But it's like I love to joke around. I love the kid. I love my children. You know what I mean? All this put a damper on their life because I'm not making any money and I can't properly take care of my children the way I want to take care of my children. And like I just don't get the inhumane ways that they did all this shit. I don't get how they allow somebody to go through all this. Not to mention, I've called the FBI numerous times on numerous accounts trying to get help to rectify my situation, to bring the parties, the guilty parties, to justice. And every time I was met with sarcasm, ridicule. Um, they disconnected the line. They just outright hung up on me. Um, you know, is unbelievable that I had to deal with all this shit, and I'm dealing with it, and I'm dealing with it on my own because nobody around seems to be able to wrap their mind around or even fathom what I'm going through. You know, it's a very sad thing that we go through in America. That's why I don't even see why do we vote and things like that? You know what I mean? Like, if a system could treat you so unjustly, why do you sit up here and vote for whether or not you give a fuck who the president is? You know what I mean? It's all, to me at this point, it's all theatrical, man. To me at this point, it's all theatrical. It's all a huge game that they play because there is no justice for many of us, man. Only time they'll justify you if they want to see if they want to see the only time they want to justify you is when you pay the right person to handle the job for you. If you're not paying that money, if you don't got millions of dollars, or if you don't have time on your hands to really process what you're going through and get legal actions going for what you're going through, like, that's the only way. You got to have money and you have to have time to pursue any case where you're trying to win. If you don't have money to hire a lawyer, it ain't gonna happen. And if you don't have any money to hire a lawyer, more than likely, it ain't gonna happen. If you can't do your due diligence, if you don't have time, you're not gonna get ahead in your case. Cause it took me myself, it took me actually finding out what steps I could take to get legal actions taken on my behalf. I had to file federal tort claim papers myself. I had to file federal tort claim action and send it to the Department of Justice myself. Otherwise, I wouldn't even, uh, my case wouldn't even get investigated. Or else they would even further try to entrap me, try to exploit me, and continue to conspire against me and my family. It's a sad, fucked up process that I'm dealing with, but I'm dealing with it nonetheless because I have to. You know what I mean? And I'm not just doing this for me. Like, when I found out all this, I thought it was like, man, it's like digging a hole. You know what I mean? And you digging that ditch, and you know, the more you go down and the more you digging up, the more you're gonna find. You know what I mean? The more I found out, because I thought this was simply about, stealing stealing a house that was supposed to be, left to somebody. I thought this was about the house on 18th and Master. You know what I mean? Honestly, I thought they was just trying to, come up on a crib or something. But to understand that the plot was even deeper than that. To understand that you had family and community who was involved with this as well. You know what I mean? This is why I can't really turn to nobody. I can't really confide in anybody because I don't know who all was involved with this. I don't know how big it goes. But I know the more that I found out about my situation and the people involved in my situation, the more I found out, the more I see how big it is in the grand scheme of things, and how wide this whole thing is. You know what I mean? It's classic gang stalking. It's classic gang stalking. If you never heard the term, look it up. Um, I don't know. It's appalling that people could do this to you. That a law-abiding citizen like myself could go through these things and cry out for help, send letters, call people, send emails, all of this crap, you know what I mean, for so long, and not be recognized and not get justified in the thing. You know what I mean? I was fighting for my community because you know what I mean? You hear stories of people losing their grandparents and shit like this. And then you hear these stories and you like, damn, the government took their crib, the city took their house, or somebody wound up, the church confiscated the house. You know what I mean? Not confiscated, but got left the house, got left with everything and stuff like this. And it's like you hear these stories and you never think that's going to happen to you. But now I see that they really entrap your life. Sometimes they work with people in your own family to get the agenda done, to get whatever they want from you, out of you. It's what they do. You know what I mean? I don't got much more to say about the situation, to be honest with you. I don't. I really don't have much more to say about the situation. I will tell you this. Now I'm seeking lawyers. Now I'm seeking out lawyers who I can have a consultation with to make sure that I follow the appropriate steps and procedures now to actually have my my federal tort claim action approved and acknowledged and approved, and that I could bring lawsuits to who was involved with all the entrapment, all the exploitation, and all the conspiracy that's been going on. Whether that be the Masonic Order, whether that be the Eastern Stars, whether that be the FBI, whether that be the CIA, whomever was involved, whatever city officials know about what's going on, you know what I mean? It just it needs to come to head, because I have a life to continue. I have a life that I want to continue, right? I have children to look after and to raise and to make sure that they know, right from wrong, and basically just live and be a good dad to them. You know what I mean? That's all I'm trying to do, is live my life, be a good father, you know what I mean? Make my money and keep going on and do my entrepreneurship and everything like that. And it's sad because I even be on here searching for jobs and shit like that on Indeed or whatever. I don't get no callbacks for no jobs or nothing. Like I don't have a record. I don't have a criminal record or nothing. But yet and still I can't find a new job. I believe that different agencies and entities work with these organizations. You know what I mean? Different agencies or organizations. So when they put the fix out on you, they can stop you from having your driver's license. They can stop you from having a license to carry a firearm. They can stop you from obtaining a job. If you're looking for a job, they can stop you from being able to properly get a job. They can stop you from getting unemployment that you're due. Like, you're justified. I've never been on unemployment, and they won't even let me get unemployment. That's how bad it is. That's how deep it goes. They won't let you get unemployment at anything, and you deserve it. Not only do you deserve it, you have the right for unemployment. They'll find any reason to deny you. Any reason. Sorry, I'm a bit stopped up and snuffly right now, cause whatever. I'm a little stopped up and snuffly. But yeah, they can stop you from getting jobs. They can stop you from getting unemployment. They can basically put a halt on your life, and that's what they did to me. They put a halt on my life. They put a deep hole in the plans that I had planned. They put a stop on my plans, to be frank with you. And it's sad. Anybody I turn to, I can't get no type of reconciliation. I can't even get consoled. I can't get consoled by people that I know, who I've grown to trust, and who I love. You know what I mean? Because they can't even fathom this shit. And sometimes it's hard for me to even believe that they don't understand what I'm going through when I'm explaining to them clearly what I'm going through. I'm explaining to, I'm not even going to say who in my life, right? Because I am in Philadelphia. It is a crab in a barrel ass city. And I believe that certain people know certain shit. You know what I mean? Certain people just look at my situation to be newsy and to gather information and shit like that. They don't look at my podcast in order to try to help me out. They look at my podcast like it's some type of spectacle or some type of you know. I had one person tell me that they believe that this is some type of get rich quick scheme. What the fuck is get rich quick about what I'm going through? Nothing. Nothing is get rich quick about what I'm going through. Let me explain to you something. I not once in my life been a scammer, been any type of person to try to get over on the government. I never been, remember the COVID thing happened and they was giving out the PPP loans? I was one of the motherfuckers that didn't go try to get the PPP loan. I worked through COVID. I drove a bus through COVID, through the whole COVID season, through the whole thing. I was working. When people met me who don't believe what I'm going through, right? Who think that maybe I'm making all this shit up. When they first met me, I was working. I always worked. Since I was a young boy, I've been working. I've been working for my quote unquote pop pop. I've been working for my Uncle Ray. I've been working at the cell phone store, opening and closing the cell phone store. Back when I was a young guy. I'm talking about teens. I'm talking about 17, 18, 19. I've been working for a long time. I've been working before that. The grandfather worked, my pop worked. I started working for him when I was young, lifting TVs. Not lifting like stealing, but picking the TVs up and putting them where he wanted them to be. Whether that be on the truck to get delivered, in somebody's house, different things like that. I've been working all my fucking life. Never once been a scammer. Never once gave anybody any reason to not believe the things that I'm saying. Because my word has always been my bond. I'm a very honorable man. I'm a very honest man. I'm a very respectable man who worked all his fucking life. Even when I'm not working for somebody else, I'm working for myself. Right? Becoming that entrepreneur that I'm seeking to become. You know what I mean? And it's like I don't deserve for people I try to confide in or people I try to be consoled by or just make let them understand my situation and what I'm going through. I don't deserve for those people to sit up there and treat me like it's some type of get rich quick scheme or like I'm trying to scam or this is all a make believe or hoax or something. Like it's not. It's not. And a lot of people, I'm saying this to those who may be going through something like this or in the future. You might be watching this podcast in the future. Yo, a lot of people they not like you can't they'll almost make you feel like whatever, man. Whatever. Cuz they're going to think that you're crazy. They're going to think that you're scheming. They're going to think that you just trying to pull a fast one or something like that. Or they might think that you was doing illegal things and you're just trying to cover your ass. How can a working man, why would a working man start to do illegal things, illicit things, right? When they always been employed, when they always been working, when they always been on the right side of the law. And then out of nowhere in their life, in the better parts of 30 years living, they're going to just decide to become a criminal and just to do things differently than they were used to doing them. Seems like conspiracy to me. Seems like entrapment to me. It seems like exploitation to me. They do this to a lot of us. They do this to a lot of us, and they see how far they could go, how far they got to take you down that rabbit hole to fuck up your life, to build whatever case that they want to build for their own organization or their own selfish gains or needs or purposes. You know what I mean? I don't want to be long-winded with this podcast because, like I said, I'm still researching lawyers that I can consult with and everything about my case. But to be honest with you, it's sad when you were a supporter, a giver to people, to your family, to your community, to your household, right? You were always a giver to these people, and yet none of them believe what you're going through. All of them just ridicule you and let you sit there and stew and wallow in whatever pain that you're dealing with. That's what they do. They'll let you sit there and stew and wallow in whatever pain that you're dealing with and say that you're the problem instead of actually trying to get on board with what you're dealing with, actually see and realize that there is validity to what you're saying and help you go about rectifying your situation. Because you getting out of your situation will help their situation. You being rectified, right? Especially when you have children. Because anytime a parent is going through something, right? Their children are also going through it. It's not just you, it's the children too. So for the children's sake, help me get rectified. Help me try to understand what I'm going through. Try to understand what it is I'm dealing with, right? So this way we could fix this. Not just for me, for my children. Like this is only right. Not just for me, for my children. And when I come out ahead, when I come out on top of whatever situation that I'm dealing with, you come out on top. But there's no type of reciprocity there. You know what I mean? You could understand and help people get through hard times in their life. But a lot of times, the people that you help out in the hard times in their life won't be there to help you out in yours. Won't be there to help you fight unforeseen enemies. Legal organized crime. That's the term I used to use. Legal organized crime. My fault. Had to blow my nose. Yeah, man. It's a deep thing that we going through, man. It's a deep thing that I'm going through, and I hope if anybody else is going through similar things around the world, because I look on Reddit to see whether people dealt with this, and I do see some posts people deal with this type of shit. You know what I mean? So it lets me know that I'm not the only one out there. I'm not the only one dealing with this type of shit. You know what I mean? There's other people who has dealt with this and is currently dealing with this. and probably don't even know about it. You know, shout out to the ones that know what they're going through. Shout out to the ones who know exactly what they're going through, who knows exactly what they're facing, and is trying to get rectification for their problems that they've been placed in, for their situations that they've been placed in. That's all I can say. Cause it's a lot of people out there who's dealing with this shit, who's sitting in jail and doing time behind somebody else exploiting them, entrapping them, and conspiring against them, and they don't even know it. Some people don't even know that this shit happens to them in their life. They don't even know it. They don't think that deeply into the situation to really understand that that's ultimately what happened to you. Some people knows exactly what happened to them. They know exactly. They know that they're the victim of these type of actions and entrapment, the exploitation, the um the exploitation. They know it, but they just either took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. um, Either they don't have the lawyer, they didn't have the money for the lawyer. Something happened because while okay, when you're being entrapped, right, or when you're being exploited, or when you're being conspired against, they're going to use other parts of the legal system against you. So they'll try to make different shit happen in your life. They'll try to make you get little assault charges. They'll try to make you get other charges. Like my grandfather, he filed a falsified order of protection on me, right? And this went right along with their agenda. This is why I know he's involved with this shit too, right? Because he's not my blood grandfather or anything. He just a dude my grandmother been dating since I was a little guy. The whole thing is, I don't even see how he could sleep at night doing some shit like this to somebody that he helped raise. Seriously, man. I haven't spoken to my mother's side of the family in so fucking long. You know what I mean? I don't, yeah, I don't know how the fuck they could allow a nephew, a grandson, a son. You know what I mean? I don't see how a family could allow somebody to go through this type of shit. It's unfathomable. It's unfathomable. I couldn't do it. I couldn't sit there and watch my child go through this type of shit without trying to help them out, without trying to console them in any way. I couldn't see my nephew or niece going through some shit like this and not trying to help them out or console them in any type of way. I couldn't watch my cousin go through this type of shit. A friend, I wouldn't be able to watch my friend go through this type of shit without trying to help him out. I couldn't watch my brother or sister go through this type of shit without trying to help them out, without trying to talk to them, help them along, and really understand their situation and what they're dealing with. I wouldn't be able to do it. I'm not built that way. I don't got that type of heart in me to let family and friends go through this type of shit without at least trying to help them out, get their situation better and shit like that. And that's what's been done to me. And the fucked up part about it is, the same ones I was always there for ain't there for me. That's the fucked up part about it. It's like, besides all the other bullshit, besides all the entrapment, all the conspiracy shit, all the exploitation, right? The part that hurt the worst, family, friends, relatives, whoever, right? To watch you go through this shit, especially when you was always there for them. Never crossed them, never did them wrong, none of that type of shit. Never stole from nobody, none of that type of shit. It's crazy. You know, I just thank God that I was able to start doing something where I could at least have very little money in my pocket. Very little bit. Just so I could be able to afford a fucking vape or whatever. You know what I mean? If you look at my videos from the past, I used to do vape reviews on all types of mods. I did gun reviews, vape reviews, and all types of shit. Now I'm delegated to just having enough money to buy a vape and to keep something in my pocket, basically. I can't go out spending and splurging because I gotta have something in my pockets. I have to have something on my card so I could be able to at least get a meal or something to drink if I need it. You know, I reached out to everybody. I mean, I reached out to Tyler Perry. I reached out to Ice Cube. I reached out to Lil Bootsy because I know Lil Bootsy go through a lot of shit too. I'm sorry to hear about him being re-indicted too. That's some bullshit Lil Bootsy dealing with, man. And that's part of what I'm saying. See, at least he got the money. He got the legal means to deal with this type of shit. You know what I mean? But that's what they'll do. They'll bleed you fucking dry. They'll keep, that's what they doing to that man. That's what they doing to Bootsy. They doing that shit to Lil Bootsy. They bleeding that man dry. They trying to get all the money they can out of Lil Bootsy. That's all it's about. It's about money and it's about maintaining control over you. Not even understand. Like, they don't want you to understand that they're in control. They want to maintain control. Because everybody should know that they are in control. These systems, these organizations control your mail, control what mail comes to your house. They control your money, your checks, how much you get paid. They control whatever position that you hold. They allow you to hold that position. Because at any time, they can really infiltrate your life, entrap you, exploit you, and conspire. And take everything that you own away at any moment. At any moment, these are the type of actions and things they could do. So really, I say it again, man, it's like my song Free. You're not really free. You never really have full control of your own life. The only way you do have any type of control of your life is when you have enough means necessary to combat the bullshit they try to bring you or to live a good life. To provide a good life for you and your children and your family. That's it. If you don't got that, they got you. If you not there, if you don't, they got you. You under full control. Anytime you working for a person, you under full control. That's basically that's my observation. You're under full control until they decide to give you a little leeway, play with you a little bit, let you make a little bit of money and shit like that. And even then, you're still under full control. That's about my episode. By the time the end of the song is done, I'll be done. I shouldn't have said that. I should have just thought it, I guess. But yeah, if there's any brands, any businesses, small or big, who need space on a podcast, who need somebody to talk about their brand of business and promote their brand of business, reach out to me. Mark Pagan Jr., Mr. Pagan. My phone number, my email is available. So if you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me in those various ways. Reach out to me on social media, hit me in the DMs, so this way we can get together and I could put together a marketing plan for you. I could start doing some promotions um, for your brand of business. That's what I'm doing. I did have a coupon for Uber Eats that I was going to put on here because I've been trying to do my own brand ambassadors thing where I'm bringing coupons and I'm bringing different deals and discounts and stuff like that. So that way I can bring them to you guys. That way, whenever you use the code, the coupon codes or anything, it kicks back a little bit of the percentage to me. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm doing right now. That's the you know, that's what I got so far. Yeah. I appreciate all of those who support me, who's understanding what I'm going through, who's watching my podcast and listening to my story and what exactly I'm going through. So, understand it is rough and that, it's not going to get any easier. I'm still trying to sort everything out. But yeah, thank you for watching. This has been an episode of God Concept. I've been your host, Mark Pagan. Mr. Pagan. That's my name on here. I'm Mr. Pagan. On music and on my podcast, I'm Mr. Pagan. In real life, too. But yeah, thank y'all, man. And peace.